Even though a lot about LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga still remains a mystery today, we do know a small handful of information. This game will offer countless explorable planets, free roam will be redone entirely, giving everyone maximum control of how you play, just about every on-screen character throughout the 9 films will probably make an appearance as either a non or playable character, and so much more. Of course, most of this information we already know because it was revealed over a year ago when the game was originally announced, but then there's still other things we don't know about the game that are either confusing or that completely remain a mystery. How exactly will Kyber bricks work? How will the environment change based on the order in which you play? When does the Death Star become the Death Star 2? And does it remain on the map forever? And so many more questions. For today's video though, I'm going to be speculating about the Smuggler Run and Bounty Hunter missions, which seem to be some of the larger parts of side missions and quests that are scattered throughout the game. Even though both game modes have similar patterns, they both have different objectives and end results, so here's what I think we could see when it comes to both of these game modes. For the Smuggler runs, I would expect us to play as both Han and Chewbacca during these side missions because that's exactly what they're known for. And even when we're introduced to them again in the sequels, they're doing the exact same thing. Obviously, we could expect to see these Smuggler runs taking place in both the original and sequel trilogies, but we don't hear a lot about smuggling in the prequel trilogy, besides some death sticks. Another alternative option would be to play as Jango during the prequel era, as he did do some smuggling on the side while bounty hunting, but the character selection for this mode is really unimportant when it comes to the actual level design. For now though, let's stick to Han and Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon. One location we could begin to see these missions on would be on Tatooine at Mos Eisley, and in order to begin the mission, we would have to accept a contract from Jabba, similar to how he controlled the bounty hunter missions in the complete saga. After accepting the contract, we would have to fly to the planet where the cargo is being held and capture it there after a quick encounter with a group of enemies. Afterwards, we would have to safely transport the cargo back to Jabba while avoiding the Imperial Army and a wave of TIE fighters. After avoiding all of the trouble, we meet Jabba back at the spaceport and deliver the cargo over for studs, or potentially Kyber bricks, to help upgrade the Falcon, which would make these side missions easier as the more you do, the harder they increase in difficulty. Another interesting idea would be that the more damage the shipment takes, the less studs you would receive, making the mission a little more difficult and ensuring that in order to reap the maximum reward, the mission has to be handled with care, much like it would be in the real Star Wars universe. Now, just because I designed a template for the levels this way, doesn't mean that they'll all play out the same. Some levels we may have to land on a particular planet to grab the cargo, and for others we may have to defeat a fleet of enemy ships throughout the galaxy, and then collect the cargo that way. No matter how TT Games plans to incorporate this game mode though, I think we'll end up seeing the same basic formula: accept the mission, fly to the cargo, defeat enemies, capture the shipment, deliver it safely to the contact, and then get paid. How these missions may change depending on what order you play in the game is still undetermined, but I don't think that it would change too much overall. Like I mentioned previously, bounty hunter missions and smuggler runs may use the same formula, but instead of delivering cargo, you're delivering a bounty. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in the Mandalorian DLC, but I think the best way to introduce the Mandalorian into the base game would be through bounty hunter missions. Much like with smuggler runs, you'd accept a contract from Greef Karga on Navarro and then fly to a specific planet to acquire the bounty. Once frozen in carbonite, you deliver them back to Greef Karga and get paid. Of course, not every mission would play out the same, as some of you would be simply finding the bounty and then transporting them, while others may include storming a compound, defeating all the enemies, and then getting attacked while trying to take the bounty back to Navarro. Even though I'd like to see the Mandalorian take over the bounty hunter missions in the Skywalker Saga, we could play as a number of characters including Boba or Jango Fett, or even experience something similar like with what the complete saga did, where all the bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back go on the mission collectively. From what I've been able to gather though, bounty hunter missions in this game will be way more expansive and more in-depth than what we got back in 2007, because after all, bounty hunting is a complicated profession. If TT Games decided to go with the Mandalorian route in these bounty hunter missions, I think it would be awesome to see Baby Yoda or the Child, whatever you prefer to call it, as the final bounty, and as a reward, he would become unlockable as a playable character. Honestly, I can't think of a better final reward for completing all the contracts, but who knows. Maybe some of you might have better suggestions for rewards when it comes to these missions. Like many of you, I have high hopes for what this game might be, especially for everything that seems to be explorable outside of the main storyline for the 9 films. Hopefully you enjoyed my speculation for what we could see with both of these side mission quests, but let me know down below in the comments if you want to see something different or what you would want to see in the final product. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel for more weekly content surrounding the Skywalker Saga, and thanks for watching everyone. Have a great day, and I will catch you on the next video.